Guys, property valuations, why they are important. And in this market, we're seeing a lot of change and turbulence, high and low with valuers and valuations. We're going to talk about it right now. It's essential you get a valuer when you buy or finance a property. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Burgio, Mark Novak, episode 1714. My valuation came in higher than the offers I'm getting. It's a hot topic at the moment in a changing market. It's a pivotal part where, first of all, Mark, what is a valuation?
I think it's a bank will need third-party justification when funding. So they're not going to believe the contract or the buyer or the solicitors or the agent, and they want their own independent verification of the value because they're going to be lending money again for that asset.
And
Like that?
I love that. And it makes sense. Like the bank is on some deals funding 70, 80, 90, 95% of the value of that property. And they just want a quick check to be like, well, if we're giving you $1 million, we want to make sure there's no funny business and the asset's worth $500,000 because the bank want to know if you can't pay the mortgage and they have to sell it, that they can get their money back. Now, valuations are a clear a price identifying where the market has been. Valuation, where when you're on the market, that's a snapshot of where the market is today. Now, in a changing market, there can be the variations where the valuation could be 10% higher or it could be 10% lower, depending if the market's going up and down. Now, we're seeing a little bit of adjusting, 5, 10, 15% lower with offers on property. And owners like, well, I just got a valuation, let's say of 1.5, and you bring me offers at 1.35. Like, why would I take that? But owners, they need to understand that the valuation goes off past settlements, 1 month old, 2, 3, up to 3 month old sales. And 3 months ago in this market feels like a lifetime ago.
And I know you think sometimes valuations are static, but I think also we've got to understand banks. There seems to be talk about the market correcting downwards. So the bank's position they're taking is probably a little bit more conservative and bullish because of that when it comes to valuations.
Yep.
And when it comes to valuations, you sort of don't want the valuer to get himself in hot water because if there's negative equity approaching in the market, this is where valuers can sometimes get sued or they can really, really get looked at for the valuation they did in the property to make sure it was correct. So I do think the valuations are going to be particularly important in the environment over the next year or two. And I do think the valuation that you're getting now, look, you may want to, another thing is you may want to get your property valued now.
Yes.
In case there is a correction in the market. The nice thing is that once a bank with residential gives you a loan, they generally don't require a valuation after the initial loan's been given out. They'll stick to that because they're very confident with the property market that they can't ask you for another valuation a year or two later. It may be a really good time to get a valuation. And also, Burge, there's the stuff that's happened with the budget with capital gains tax. I think valuers are going to be smashed in the next year. If you're going to do a valuation now for a refinance or for capital gains tax, it may be important to get this done sooner than later.
Yeah, well, like I have a great real life example. There's a building in DY. Up until the last 2 weeks, all the sales were at say 1.5. Now there's been a sale at 1.26. So if you're an owner in that building and you're looking to buy something, you want to get a valuation now. Your val will probably come in around that 1.4, 1.5 because they're going off settled sales. But if you wait a month or two, because I'm not exactly ready, Then the new sales that come through, and your val could be 126, 1.3. Now that 200 grand is buying power. That's effectively the difference of having a deposit. So just hearing this, going out today and getting a valuation, you could be getting a deposit for another purchase straight away. So it's very important.
So, guys and girls, I just noticed on the bottom was wrong.
Yeah.
Apologies. Your valuation's coming in higher, your valuation's coming in lower. Something you can also do is you can choose on a panel of valuers who you'd like to use.
Yes.
And also you can get another valuation if
Great
you're
point.
unhappy with that valuation. Very rare. But it does happen. Is there anything else we need to mention about valuations before we
I
go?
think that's key. You can get multiple. I remember when I was looking to buy in Roger Street, I had 4 valuations on the apartment, and they ranged from 850,000 up to 1.1 million.
On the
So
property.
on the same property within the same 2-week span. So you can definitely get multiple valuations and look at doing it. But also, don't get caught up if you're looking to sell, especially if you're upsizing, because even if you had a val at 1.5 and you're selling at 1.3, the property you're buying for 2 million or 2.5, that could have had a valuation of 3 million before. So your net position is far better. The loan that you're going to hold for 30 years will be a lot less. So don't get caught up on the valuation. Acknowledge that is the past market. And if you're on the market, that's the existing live market. And if you're selling through Novak, then they're the best offers.
And I also think if you're getting a valuation, it's a nice verification that you've paid the right price.
Yes.
I think sometimes as the buyer, you can be a little bit nervous about where you're sitting in the market. And it's nice that you're getting that professional party coming in behind you and just checking.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in a campaign, it could get competitive and you feel like you've paid overs, but then that vow comes in at the right price, you feel good. But I think it covers it. Get a vow.
Valuation.
Thank
Love
you.
ya. See ya.